Hi there, I'm Beth, and today I'm finally going to customise this lovely MIDDIE-sized Blythe doll. She's borrowing clothes from my daughter's Lottie doll. I do recommend checking them out. There are some awesome sets and accessories for them, which fit MIDDIE very well. As you can see, her eyes move from side to side using this wheel in the back. I have a plan for her eyes though, so I won't be using this mechanism. That's her head disassembled, so now I'll prepare it in my usual way. I'm using a fine grit wet sandpaper. I've cut off a strip and have folded it over this spongy nail file to give me something to grip. Her head is pretty well sanded. Just the crevices I couldn't reach. I start by sketching a lip shape to follow using mechanical pencil. I use a hand drill to define the nostrils more, just gently, not too deep. I have a wood carving hand tool here, a curved shaped tip. I push towards the sides of the nose to begin making a deeper edge. I also like to use a rotary tool with different shapes of carving bits in it. This one is just like a Dremel. You can get wireless ones too. I'd like to try one sometime. I have a magic cleaning sponge to hand that I often use to swipe away the messy bits. Here I'm carving away the tip of the nose to make it more rounded. I carve the bridge of the nose too. I start to shape the mouth, smoothing the sides and following my sketched outline. I try not to leave scratches or gouges. Sometimes I find the hand tools are neater. I keep working on the lip shape and use sandpaper to smooth it out. I've glued together popsicle sticks and tapered them, then cut a narrow strip of sandpaper. I stapled it to make a loop before sliding it on, and now it works as a tiny detail sander. I can rotate the sandpaper to use it evenly, and it helps for sanding narrow areas. I have such little patience for sanding, but I keep persevering until it's as smooth as I can get it. Here are both halves ready for spraying with Mr. Colour Super Clear UV. I can't get any of the spray cans here, so I buy the liquid, which can be thinned with Mr. Colour Thinner. I can then use it in the airbrush. I have to clean it thoroughly afterwards though. And of course, wear a protective mask. After a couple of layers of sealant, I begin adding colour using pastel chalks. I use soft, rounded makeup brushes in various sizes. I have a sort of palette of colours. It's just a sheet of paper that I've rubbed the pastels onto. I start with the ears and side of the head. I combine the halves so the colour matches up. I will then add colour to the forehead, cheeks, chin and nose. Using a smaller oval brush, I add some colour to the lips. I stop regularly to spray on additional layers of sealant to preserve the colour I have and then add more on top. I use watercolour pencils to draw on little freckles. For the eyebrows, I make sure I'm working on top of a sealed layer. I brush on a base of pastel. I use a putty eraser to refine the shape, adding a sharper edge to the outline. You can use this method for the lips too. Once I'm happy with one, I try to replicate it on the other side. Once sealed again, I start adding drawn-in detail with more watercolour pencils. I'm taking some inspiration from the QBaby dolls made by RodgerDollob11 on Instagram. I came across these and became deeply obsessed. I love how the eyes are positionable and so expressive. I spent hours, nights and days trying to find one to buy. I sent messages to the creator Roger on Instagram and Facebook. I wrote them in English and again in Chinese, but just like his other fans, I had no reply. I was so frustrated, so I decided to figure out how to make my own version of these fun eyes. I'll show you how I went about it, but first I'm decorating the back plate. I'm painting a pastel swirly rainbow design using acrylic paints and will add her name too. Since it's all about her eyes for me, I've decided to name her Lookie Lou. I add yellow sparkles and spray on a few coats of Mr. Super Clear. Now back to those eyes. I'm using what I have to try to make the perfectly round eyes that Roger uses. I searched high and low but couldn't find any like this to buy online. They always either had a back stem or an overly pointed iris. I'll use UV resin and a silicone sphere mould. I'll put links in the description for everything I can. You can see my test eyes and how they're cupped in a tinfoil enclosure. This is a DIY method that Roger shared online. It provides a secure container while still letting the eyes swivel. I've also got these other silicone moulds for making doll eyes with. After much trial and error, I have an eye I'm happy with. The iris is acrylic painted, the pupil is a punched circle of card, the eye fits well. It's a 16mm sphere, though I think I could get away with 18mm too. Here comes another eye. I'll sand the rough end flat and paint it before finishing off with clear resin. One last thing before the eyes go in. She looks a little too wide-eyed as she is. She needs a darker upper eye line and some lashes. I'll cut these lashes down and glue them on. I'm careful to glue them to the outside of the faceplate, otherwise they would rub against the eye. They just need to dry before I trim them down, but let's start on the sockets. I cut a few small squares of tin foil and layer them before cupping and smoothing them around the ball. Leave one end open, the eye should move freely, then trim some excess away. Test fit against the face and fine-tune the foil to fit. I use blue tack to secure the foil inside. Here's how her first eye looks. Here's a better look at her second eye. I've folded the foil back on itself all round. Once it fits well, press the tack into place, making sure you can still close the head up. I'm using tack to move the eyes around. Maybe a pencil eraser would work well instead, to keep the eye clean from your fingers. I can't tell you how pleased I am with my Lookie Lou. She is just so adorable. I keep picking her up to play with her eyes. I immediately ordered 2 more MIDDIE dolls to customise. I might actually sell one, so let me know if you'd be interested in that. What do you think of her? After all my months of searching for a QBaby to buy, I found some on AliExpress the same day I finished my MIDDIE. I know they are only a copy, and I felt very conflicted about ordering one, but since nearly all of my Blythes are copies too, and it seems to be the only way to own one, I decided to buy one to customise just for myself. I even saw the round eyeballs there too. Typical. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. Check out the description for more information, as well as a link to some frequently asked questions. I'll see you again soon. Bye!